Once upon a time there was a woman who was an American author. She was born the 27th of June in 1880 in the USA. Her name was Ellen Adams Keller. She was a very talented author, but how did she become so famous? Did she have some obstacles? Well, unfortunately, when she was 19 months old, she became blind and deaf. Her mother wanted her to have an education, so she found a teacher, Anne Sullivan. This was the beginning of a great friendship between these two. Chapter 1. How everything started. Ellen Adams Keller was born on the 27th of June in 1880 in Tuscumbia, Alabama. Her family lived in a homestead, Ivy Green, that Ellen's grandfather had built decades earlier. She had 4 siblings, 2 full siblings and 2 older half-brothers. At 19 months old, Keller contracted an unknown illness described by doctors as an acute congestion of the stomach and the brain, which might have been meningitis. The illness left her both deaf and blind. She lived, as recalled in her autobiography, at sea in a dense fog. At that time, Keller was able to communicate somewhat with Martha Washington, the 2 years older daughter of the family cook, who understood her signs. By the age of 7, Keller had more than 60 home signs to communicate with her family, and could distinguish people by the vibration of the footsteps. Chapter 2. The Friendship. In 1886, Helen's mother decided to educate her daughter. After communicating with many specialists, she was told to ask Anna Sullivan to be Keller's instructor. That was the start of a 50-year-old friendship. Sullivan arrived at Keller's house on March 5, 1887, a day would Keller forever remember as "my birthday." Sullivan immediately began to teach Keller to communicate by spelling words into her hand, beginning with doll, for the doll that she had brought Keller as a present. Keller was frustrated at start because she did not understand that every object had a word uniquely identifying it. Unfortunately, Anne Sullivan died in 1936, while Ellen was holding her hand. Chapter 3. Becoming famous. Keller went on to become a world-famous speaker and author. She is remembered as an advocate for people with disabilities, amid numerous other causes. She traveled in 25 different countries, giving motivational speeches about the deaf people's condition. In 1920, she helped to found the American Civil Liberties Union. Keller traveled to over 40 countries with Sullivan, making several trips to Japan and becoming the favorite of the Japanese people. After many other political movements, she became a successful political activist. Our hero was passionate with writing too. She wrote 12 books and several articles. She also published her autobiography, The Story of My Life, with her Sullivan and Sullivan's husband, John Macy. It recounts the story of her life up to age 21, and it was written during her time in college. Our hero died on the 1st of June in 1968, but she's still one of the most important authors in the world, and her books are still successful. So this is how Helen became famous and one of the most important people in the world. She lived happily the rest of her life by doing what she loved, writing stories and speaking about the rights of people with disabilities. Every story has a happy end.